Fly me to the moon. Hey y'all, welcome back. It's Joyful Jalen. We are talking about the long-awaited Squid Games, and I'm so excited. Squid Games is one of my favorite shows. I'm sure you have seen the show. I'm sure you guys have been hyped for the show just like I have. The Squid Game Season 2 live up to the hype. Let's talk about it. Questions of the day. Would you participate in the Squid Games? And if you would, how long do you think that you would stay? So we start off with Gi-Hun, and y'all, I was so confused about why there was this giant time skip. I wanted to see him go into the games with his red hair. Like, I didn't understand why he was taking so long, but I guess he was taking so long because he was trying to find the people. And I think, more importantly, with me being confused about the time skip, I was very concerned, like, why would you not go see your daughter? I was very upset at him for not getting on that plane and going to see his daughter. Like, if I won a bunch of money, I would at least go take care of my daughter first and then come back and try to get revenge or, you know, whatever it was. First episode really was a lot of exposition and talking and, like, us seeing where Gi-Hun is and, you know, how he's doing mentally. But I think there was a slow burn, just finding out what the detective was doing and how he had fallen from grace and how he was looking for the island. I think it was a really slow burn, but things ramp up when Gi-Hun hires those gang members to find the recruiter. Recruiter was one of the best parts of the show. I'm not gonna lie, out of all 7 episodes, I think the recruiter deserves an Emmy just for how he did that. Because when the gang members did find him, he ties 2 of them up, and it just becomes a really, really psychological just mind bend. That actor, I don't know his name. I don't know if he's famous in Korea. He really did a good job. Even when Gi-Hun finds him and they're playing Russian roulette, that was one of the best scenes I have ever seen in television history. Guys, I am not playing. So crazy because they get down to the last bullets. He's like, okay, well, we're going to play a game. You want to find the front man? You're going to play Russian roulette with me. They just go back and forth, and it gets down to the very last bullet. Y'all, that was the best scene for me because Gi-Hun was like, I'm not playing. I do not care what happens today. Props to the recruiter. Extraordinary actor. That scene alone just deserves an Emmy. So they do end up tracking down one of the recruiters, and you know, so Gi-Hun has this whole team behind him, which is cool. Like, I wasn't really interested in that storyline of like the whole like we're gonna take the Squid Games down. I wasn't really interested in that storyline, but I was interested in seeing Gi-Hun go back into the games. And from season 1, I was concerned about how they were going to do that without it being bad writing. We end up tracking one of the guys down to this Halloween club, and they chase him, and they get Gi-Hun in the car, and they end up sending him back into the game. Let's talk about some characters really quick. Love the Thanos character. I know a lot of people have a lot of mixed feelings about him. I had mixed feelings too because there were moments where I'm like, why are you killing people? But overall, I thought he was really funny, guys. Like the whole English accent not working thing. Like, I thought Thanos was so much fun. There are some things he does in the show that makes me hate him, but for the most part, I thought he was a very entertaining character. The mom-son duo relationship was really interesting to watch. I hated the son, y'all. I hated him because when he abandoned his mother during the Mingle game, it was just like, bro, I can't. And then he just kept on like switching up. Like, it's like, okay, we're going to get out the games. We're going to get out the games. He goes up, presses O. She's like, why would you do that? It's like, oh, well, you know, mom, I actually have more debt. It's just like, just get out of here. Get out of here. And you know what? I hope that the mom survives over the son, and I think that that would be really interesting. Of course, I love the pregnant girl. We're all rooting for her because nobody wants a pregnant woman to die, but her boyfriend, I thought there was way too much going on with him, y'all. I'm like, okay, he's a YouTuber, but he's also into cryptocurrency, but he's also the boyfriend of the pregnant girl. I just was like, it's so much going on with him. It was hard to like keep up. The transgender person was one of the MVPs of this season because not only was the transgender person underestimated, but the transgender person had so many iconic moments, like when they're doing the spinning top and they're trying to run and hurry up and beat the clock. And she's just like, the gods have abandoned us. The gods have abandoned us. All you see is pop, pop. If you give up, I'll kill you before your gods do. Like, that's it. And also, just like the people in the background gasping when the slaps were happening, it just was so funny to me. Like, and I know you guys were rooting for them too, because even the characters in the room were rooting for them. So that was really interesting to see. Also, like how the transgender person was underestimated. It's like, well, how do you know how to use a gun? It's like, because I've been in the army and I was actually a captain. So it was really cool to see, like, don't judge a book by its cover. I wasn't really a fan of Gi-Hun's friend, the Marine guy. I wasn't really a fan of him. He just felt like the sidekick. So that wasn't really... he wasn't really my favorite. Then we have Il-Nam, which I thought was really interesting because for him to join the games, I'm like, okay, he's an appropriate substitute for the old man, but I just didn't get why he was in there. And I guess that's part of the show, but I just didn't understand, like, what is he trying to accomplish? How far is this gonna go? And even towards the end, we're gonna talk about the ending, y'all. Don't worry, we're gonna talk about it. But even towards the ending, I just was like, what? How far is he going to go with this? And he's killing the other soldiers, and it just wasn't making any sense to me. Side note, I just want to say that with the front man joining the games, I think that people felt like, oh, he was never in danger. Oh, you know, if something had happened to him, they would have just killed everybody on his team, or like... even in the merry-go-round game, like, if he had been in the wrong room or too many people, they would have just killed everybody in that room except him. But, guys, I also want to say that I think that his life was really in danger. Because we're going to get to that ending, but in the end, when all of the gun shooting is happening, the soldier looks at him and is confused and concerned. So I don't think that everybody knew that he was going to jump in and be a contestant. I think that his life was really in danger, and I think that he was really trying to beat the games to prove to Gi-Hun something. Well, let's talk about some of the games. Red Light, Green Light was entertaining again. And when the show first started, I was like, wow, this season is better than the first. There's not a lot of seasons that can do that. I know that the writer did not intend that. He did not plan that. And sometimes things can be a little forced. But at first, I was like, this season is becoming better than the first season. Red Light, Green Light was so entertaining. And justice for my girl, Ming-Ha. Is that her name, Ming-Ha? With the braids. The girl who died first. She was so beautiful. Style was impeccable. The bee, you know, got on her neck. And then, you know, she... freaked out and was the first person to die. It's also so funny because she's becoming like really famous on social media right now, which is so funny. Like, she was the first to die and like she like made such an impact. When they pulled out that remix for Fly Me to the Moon, because they used Fly Me to the Moon in the first season when the game started. But the remix had me so hyped. It was crazy because Gi-Hun's trying to tell them, and they're just thinking he's crazy. And then when stuff really pops off, and that woman looked back, and she said, "Ow!" And everybody starts running. Oh my gosh. It was just savage. It felt more savage than the first games because there was even a girl, her hands were just shaking, and she got shot. Thanos took that pill, and he's like, killing people and jumping all over the place. That's why I thought he was such a good character, because he kept the games really interesting. He was also so funny because you see them like running to the finish line and he's just like, it just was really funny to me. Of course, they make it through, and so Gi-Hun just like his friend did in the first season, brings up how they can opt out. And so they go to vote, and of course, everybody votes. Most people vote to continue. And that's the sad part. It's just like everybody thinks they're special. Everybody thinks they're going to be the one to get that money. And it's just like, do they really have a choice? I know I'm in student loan debt. I think I might play a game or two in Squid Games. The next game is like Six-Leg Octopus or something like that. And I think that was one of the more fun games. It just was very entertaining to watch. Even the underestimated team, right? The transgender person, the old person, the pregnant girl. Underestimated team just ended up being the most successful. And it was so cool, again, because of that slap scene of like, you better not give up. I'm not playing with you. I love all those dramatic shows. I love dramatic stuff like that because it's so funny to me. That was one of the funnier games because even the one team that just could not get that rock throw together, that was really funny. That last episode ruined everything for me. You like actually cheered when the transgender person's team made it through because everybody was rooting for them. And then it was cool to see how Gi-Hun's team, they like made no mistakes, but when it gets to the top, they're making all these, the guy just cannot get the top together. And I also just, again, I just want to reiterate, I think that his life was on the line too. Because I think he was really trying to get that top together. Of course, they start voting again, and everyone's just like, no, we need to drop out. Like, guys, choose our main characters are like, please, just drop out, just drop out, just drop out. You see that some people are like, no, I want to keep playing. The transgender person feels bad, but wants to keep playing. And it's just like, that's when the teams really started to divide. So then we have this merry-go-round game. That game was so intense, y'all, and I've played a game similar to that. It's very intense. It's very fun when you're playing, but like for your life, that's not. See the son abandon the mother, and it was interesting to see how the mother not only forgave him, but just pretended like it didn't exist. See Uni die, and the transgender person had some guilt about that because it's like, yeah, we wanted you to stop. We wanted you to stop playing, and now you see how it affects your friends. Again, I love Thanos because he's like dancing the whole time and making all these funny, like, you know, catchphrases and stuff. It was funny. So after the merry-go-round, the show becomes so bad. It becomes so bad. I thought that the season was better than the first one. That last episode ruined everything for me. First off, the X's and the O's start fighting against each other. And, you know, Thanos and them are fighting in the bathroom. And the YouTuber guy ends up killing Thanos. And so it's revealed that if you kill someone right now, you can, like, make the games easier on yourself. Killing each other in the bathroom and stuff. And, Gi-Hun is talking to all the people who are trying to opt out, but he doesn't tell them what's about to happen. He tells his select few, right? And I was so mad at that because I'm like, why not tell everybody and y'all like get up in the corner or something? And so when they do come, you could like really tear them up, like, you know, but he wasn't trying to do that. It made me really mad to watch all of those people just get murdered. You know, the nerdy guy did not help the girl that he was attracted to. Like, he threw the little bottle, and I thought, y'all, I was so mad at her too, because I was like, just pick up the bottle and stab him in the neck. But she didn't do that either. That was a really sad moment for me to watch her die and the nerd not like do anything. That made me hate the nerd, for real, for real. But it also made me really not like Gi-Hun, because I'm like, why didn't you like try to protect them this time? And he's like, oh, I had to make sacrifices. I'm like, no. Then Gi-Hun's plan starts to work of like taking the guns from the guards and all of that stuff. And y'all, I'm gonna say this. It didn't come out of nowhere, because they set it up that he had been practicing with guns and stuff in the first episode, and that this was his plan. And it just seemed a little convenient that there were a bunch of soldiers here this year. Like, the young soldier guy, his friend was a soldier. The transgender person was a soldier. Like, that doesn't necessarily come out of nowhere, but they literally just stop the games in the middle of the show and it just becomes Black Ops. That ruined the entire show for me. That ruined the entire show. I was so bored watching it. I was like, okay, they're shooting at each other. They're shooting at each other. I didn't really care about the twist that, oh, the Ilnam frontman guy is gonna betray him. Like, I was wondering, like, how far is he gonna take this? And then, like, he finally betrays them and he puts the walkie to their dying voices and he's like, look what you did, Gi-Hun, basically. But that was so bad for me. It made me hate the show. It really made me hate the show. At a certain point, I like tuned out in the first 10 minutes of the episode. I was like, I don't want to watch this. I don't care. Like, it's just a bunch of shooting. And I think that's what a lot of people thought about the show. Like, it was good until the last episode. And I don't know if the pandemic affected it. I don't know if the strikes, acting and writing strikes affected it. But it just felt incomplete. And that's what everybody is saying. So that episode really left a bad taste in my mouth, and I did not like that. Cinematography of all the episodes were really good. I love the colors this season, but yeah, guys, that last episode really ruined it for me. So I was going to give it like a 9 out of 10, and now I'm like down to a 5 or 6 out of 10 because I did not like that. That really ruined it for me. Yeah, guys, thanks for listening to me. Thank you guys for 150 subscribers. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I'm new to YouTube and it goes such a long way. So please like and subscribe. Let me know where you think this show is going. So we know we have a season 3 in 2025 and maybe they were created together as 2 parts. But please let me know where you think this season is going because I have no idea. Last thing, guys, I am going to come out with a season 2 theory video. So again, like and subscribe and stay tuned for that. Cut. Other than that, have an amazing day and I'll see you next time.